just do what I got to do on my side. It is almost 9 a.m. And there's not much, but there is a couple of things. And I'll get into that in a second. The rhetoric has raised its levels again. All that talk about negotiations and it hasn't. Good morning, Orchid. It's like, really, really, you really think they're going to come up with some kind of a deal? I'm just going to show you a few things first. So the Wall Street Journal, it's referred to in this article, and this is like an hour ago. I took a snapshot right here. I said this last night. Despite other people like, oh, they're not ready. They're still setting assets in the area. Your Bacardi 151 is still sealed. No more Red Bull monsters for me. I don't think anything's happening for quite some time. According to U.S. officials speaking to the Wall Street Journal, the Pentagon is deploying additional air defense systems to protect Israel, Arab states, and U.S. forces as tensions rise. Officials say a U.S. strike on Iran is not expected in the immediate future, with Washington instead prioritizing defensive preparations against potential Iranian retaliation or broader regional conflict. This was this morning. While limited strikes remain an option, a large-scale attack will likely provoke a major response, from Tehran. Thus, the U.S. is expanding its defensive footprint by deploying Patriot and THAAD missiles systems in bases in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. We've been seeing those movements. What's up, Navi? We've been seeing those movements. Reinforcing naval destroyers. I wouldn't be surprised they send another carrier. Strike group. I've been saying this. Regional partners in the Gulf states are also strengthening missile defense capabilities, with Saudi Arabia already receiving several THAAD batteries. Everything is a stall tactic, and I said it yesterday. The Iranians are pleading for a deal. Regardless of what people might think, they don't want this. And the president may be stalling also for time to get all the pieces in place. Remember, it took months to prepare for Venezuela. What's up, Shadow Man? It took months. People think that this shit could be coordinated like that, especially the amount of missiles, drones, etc. that is in the possession of Iran, and to protect the allies in the region and us, our bases, and our people. It's a different scale. And I get the frustration with Sepp and others. I heard his stream last night. I was like, oh my God. It's like Armin cursing on his stream probably. And Goldie's like, go a little easy with the language. Every other word I was hearing was like, oh, and he's pissed. And I get it. I get it. What? What's going on? Yeah, I agree. I don't see nothing happening anytime soon now. But this could be a distraction. But let's keep going. Meant to another carrier group inbound. Left Norfolk yesterday, so I've seen in a few posts. Really? Huge stall. By the looks of things, this could be March. It could definitely be down the line. Weeks, not days. And I'm going to show you another article in a second. And you got to see what Khomeini said this morning in Iran. You got to see what their people, the IRGC, did. I'm going to show you. If you think the rhetoric has come down despite these talks, think again. There was a drone earlier, an Iranian drone flying around. checking out the Lincoln. Some people said the Lincoln left. We're retreating. We're withdrawing. The amount of nonsense that I hear is just cray-cray, really. It's amazing. And it's funny how quickly people jump to conclusions, and it's like, really? This is Iran International. U.S. must strengthen air defenses in Middle East before any Iran strike, and they're referring to the Wall Street Journal, which I just did. See? And it goes on to discuss it. The same thing I just read, they're saying it here. They said that U.S. officials are saying that airstrikes on Iran are not imminent. Now, that could be a play. That could be a play. But I believe that to be true. As the Pentagon is still deploying additional air defense systems. According to a report, the Pentagon is taking steps to better protect Israel, Arab allies, and U.S. forces in the region. Amid growing concerns that Iran could respond with missile. Well, you have to ask yourself, your professor, and I'm being very respectful. I don't see the slaughter of tens of thousands of Americans in the streets of the United States under that regime. Just saying. I mean, we have our protests here, and I see how they're using it as propaganda. You can't even compare. Limited strikes can be carried out. See, U.S. officials told the Journal that while limited airstrikes on Iran could be carried out quickly, a larger operation would likely prompt a proportional response from Tehran, making robust air defenses essential. And they have a lot of interceptors in the area already, but it's not enough. So that's one. Iran says it will return regional shipping routes unsafe after any strike. So they're going to definitely disrupt the Persian Gulf. That's another issue. Iran warned on Sunday it could retaliate against any U.S. strike on its vital infrastructure by disrupting key international waterways and targeting American forces across the regions, according to remarks by a lawmaker carried by Iranian media. What's going on? Respectfully, he's unalived. You don't have to say unalived. We're not on TikTok. But I understand how you're saying it. He's unalived in 12 months. Nothing ever happens. I'm just reporting what I'm reading and what I'm seeing. Because there was a lot of talk yesterday about that negotiating. Qatar Prime Minister went to Tehran, came back. Supposedly it was a message from the president going to Tehran. And this morning, nothing's really changed as far as rhetoric. I haven't heard too much from our side of the rhetoric, but I did hear a lot from the other side. And this went on to talk about the threats to the Strait of Hormuz and parts of the Suez Canal. The finger on the trigger thing. Warning about the bases in the area. I'm paraphrasing. And going to this now. Now I'm going to go to this. And there's quite a bit here, to be honest. Iran International is putting out. Hold on. And this is what I said. These were false reports about the military exercise. They're not going to happen until mid or end of February with China and Russia. All that talk that it was happening this weekend or the upcoming week about the drills. There was no plan for the guards, and the military exercise in the Strait of Hormuz are incorrect. They said on Iran state-run press TV reported on Thursday that the force would carry out drills February 1st and 2nd. I've done digging. There is nothing to correlate that. It looks like it's going to be mid to end of February. They could be saying that, but that's what I'm reading. There was no plan for the guards to hold military exercise there, and there was no official announcement about it. Only media reports which are wrong. Okay, hold on. Look at this. And this was earlier. Iranian lawmakers wore Revolutionary Guard uniforms and chanted slogans in parliament on Sunday in reaction to the European Union's designation of the IRGC a terrorist organization. In the video, the MPs are heard chanting "Death to America," "Death to Israel," and "Shame on Europe." So the rhetoric hasn't changed. That's obvious. The rhetoric has not changed. That was this morning, local time. So it's, the rhetoric is still going on, showing a face, putting up a public face. Behind the scenes might be a totally different issue. Trying to negotiate some kind of a deal. But this is one face they put up, and then in the background they're trying to negotiate and getting all the Arab partners are trying to help out, trying to resolve it. It's like two different things going on at the same time. And let me go to Khomeini. Oh, Khomeini. This is what he posted. We are not the initiators of war. We do not seek to oppress anyone. We do not seek to attack any country. However, anyone who seeks to attack or cause harm will face a decisive blow by the Iranian nation. The Americans sometimes talk about war, saying we will come with warships and aircrafts is nothing new. The Iranian nation is not affected by such talk. They shouldn't try to intimidate the Iranian nation with such things. The Americans should know that if they start a war, this time will be a regional war. And then he's going on to the celebrations of the 47th anniversary of the victory of the Islamic Revolution. So this is all recent. And there's more that I was reading that it was stated that he said that it was a coup d'etat. He goes into detail about the coup d'etat, what the attack was all about within the country. So there's a lot going on now. There's a lot of rhetoric. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background. So that's basically what's going on. Really nothing new. They're just a chatter from the media. Take what you want from it. Because the media is the media. So I don't see anything in the foreseeable future, honestly. Unless it's all bluff, talk, misdirection, confusion. Who knows? All right, I'm going to read what you guys are writing. Let me just see what you guys are saying. And I'm just telling you what's out there. I'm not necessarily telling you my opinion. And good afternoon again or morning to everybody. Let me just see. I was hoping by now more and more looks like Trump is looking for an off-ramp. There will be no tech on Iran. Sad for all those people. Yes, if that were to be the case, and I can't imagine what the Iranian people feel like. They would feel abandoned. Absolutely. And that would cause more issues for the United States moving forward with millions and millions of Iranians, whether they're internal or external. That's why I still believe that we might see something happen. But notice I said the word might. I'm not sure anymore. I really am not sure. I think it's likely something might happen, but I'm not saying for sure. How could you? And I know a lot of people say, "No, he's going to do it. He's going to do it." I've said it myself. Do you think he wants to be his name in the same sentence with Obama? Well, this is worse than Obama. This is way worse than Obama. If he does nothing, it's way worse. In my opinion. That's why I don't think he's not going to do it. Yeah, I just showed the image of the drone. It's still up. Yeah. Let's see what else. Don't try to hit ICE agents with your car. Oh God. You guys don't have to say unalived here. We're not on TikTok. You don't have to worry about that. All the help is on the way talk, and then dragging it out on. It's horrific what's going on in Iran. Some people are saying taco. Obama only had 70 in 8 years and deported from our. Yes, he was known actually as the what's the something in chief, deporter in chief or something like that. Obama. But you got to remember the politics in this country. It goes back and forth. You know, depending on who's saying what. That's just the way it is in this country. It's flipped. However, things are taken out of context for whatever side, however they want to use it. It's just the way it is. So that's the way of politics. It's probably a lot more than 30,000. They probably killed over 30,000 in those 2 days. The numbers are insane. Absolutely insane. It's probably closer to 60,000, 80,000. And I don't know how many people are detained. What about the executions? What about the people they allegedly injected with potassium so they could die a few days later and release them because the prisons were overflowing? This is barbaric. This is fucking evil what they did to the people. There's no justification to what happened there. However they tried to reframe it, whatever they did is the most disgusting thing since World War II. Let's just put it that way. But again, since it's so closed off, prove it. How do you know? Blah, blah, blah. You know, you're going to hear that because that's why they did it. To try to hide it from the world, what was going on internally. I'm taking a step back from my earlier opinion that nothing will happen, even though I still believe that's the outcome. I think U.S. action is increasingly likely, but not for benevolent reasons. Navi says Trump is waiting for some information from inside Iran government because something happened inside government, so he has to wait at least 2 weeks. I don't know what you're referring to about this 2-week thing inside Iran, Navi. How many died in Ukraine? Wasn't it meant to be over already? Look, I have my Ukraine U.S. flag there. I've got my Ukraine. I wrote stuff. Don't get me started with Ukraine. Don't get me started. That's a conversation for another time. But that's a whole different issue. And I am a person that supports the Ukrainian people. So your professor, believe me, one thing about me, I try to stay objective as possible. When we allow our emotions to take control to a certain point, it tends to take us out of our character. Because we let the emotions dictate our actions, and that could be bad. It could be good, but it could be bad. I try to stay as controlled and grounded as possible, because once you start to lose it, you start to think maybe impulsively and irrationally. You know what I'm saying? So, like if something ever happens, like a serious situation, you always want somebody to have a level head, not be panicking, not be freaking out. You want some people to stay calm, deal with the situation. Oh, I wrote a song, Taiwan is gone this year. China's taken Taiwan this year. That is my opinion. 2026, Taiwan, China's taking it. It's a matter of time. That's my opinion. Taiwan is gone. We take that's another whole issue. You see what's going on with Cuba, Greenland, all the talk here. Well, China's going to say, Taiwan's in our backyard. That's ours. You think they're going to stop them? You think, look what's going on in Iran and the U.S. with this standoff thing going on. You think the United States is going to confront China over Taiwan? Do you really think? Hell no. Hell no. They're going to take it, in my opinion. This year, Taiwan is going bye-bye. But that's another story again for another time. The Obama administration counted turnarounds at the border as deportations. The Trump administration only counts internal removers. Two completely different statistics. Yes. Iran had a deadline, don't forget. Early Trump. What? Rarely Trump would go back on that. Again, you see how much they try to separate themselves, this administration, because he says Biden gazillions of times per week. He doesn't want to be even in the same breath as Obama, which is why I say I think something's going to go down. Because then he's going to be compared and put in that same framework as Obama. Do you really think? And I'm just talking about his own self-image, him thinking about him. Do you really think he wants to be seen as another Obama? That alone, and I'm not saying that's the main reason, I'm saying that alone, yeah, I would like to know about this sourcing, what's going on internally in Iran about the next 2 weeks. I don't know what that's about. I hope I'm trying to catch up to everything you guys are saying, and I'm trying to, keep things respectful. And again, we may be ready to do something, and all this other talk about saying it's going to happen in a few weeks is done purposely. That's why I say be careful with distraction, the confusion, mismessaging. It's all part of the game, the chess game. It really is. It could all be part of it. They could have purposely said that to the press. And who are these U.S. military officials? I hate when they do that. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up to what you guys are saying. You guys are posting a lot. I hope you guys are right and I am wrong. I don't want anything more than the liberation of Iran, but I feel nothing's going to happen. That's what they want you to feel, like nothing's going to happen. They want you to, especially the regime, they want you to lose hope. But I can understand the absolute frustration, even anger. Where's the president? Where's the help? I mean, that definitely goes with it, obviously. I don't know why we even give them a chance for a deal. It never happens. I agree with Smokey. It always, we're negotiating with you. We are negotiating, then you see a strike. That happened before. I am rested, thank gosh. I can't give anyone sources. Okay. Navi, just be careful what you're saying then. Navi, be careful. Don't put anything in there that's going to make you vulnerable. I just understand what's happening. Negotiations Trump wants from Iran. That means if they say yes to Trump, they can keep in power. That's what I brought up yesterday. That was the little window that I said, what happens if they come to a deal and the regime stays intact? What about the Iranian people? I don't see it happening though. And I hope I'm wrong too. Trust me, I'm just putting out points. I'm not saying that this is what I think. I'm putting out points. I hope you're wrong, Bill. I don't think Iranians can wait much longer. They can't. Every day that goes by is horrific. It's horrific. There's no other way to put it. I watched the enforcement. Also, they have troops on the ground at Baghdad border. And good morning, Ada. Nothing will happen next 2 weeks. Be patient. Morning, Bill and Sep. I didn't want to bother Sep because it's early. He was up late streaming. I fell asleep. He was on with my friend KJ. And I said, I got to get off. I was like hallucinating, trying to use my phone. And good morning, Mr. Soriano. Moving that much military there, something will happen. Costs too much money for us to move all that firepower there. Remember what the public statements are, though. State Department spokesman. I could put it on. Peace through strength. Peace through strength. That is an official State Department phrase. Peace through strength. By showing all this force. Peace through strength. Just saying. That is what they say. If you look at what the State Department spokesman will say, that's the policy. Peace through strength. Remember that. He doesn't have the airspace fuel or intelligence. Well, he is not the person that does anything. He's not the one that's doing everything. It's our military, which is incredible. The best in the world. They're the ones who gather intelligence, and they're the ones that do all the movements. They're in charge, not the president. The president is the commander-in-chief that says, go, don't go. That's all the president does. All those other pieces is done by our military. Chain of command, those that are in service. That's not even. Let's see. He doesn't have the airspace fuel. Well, they got plenty. I think tonight is the night. We'll see. We'll see. Number is close to 87,000. I seen Israeli reports using Iranian sources that the number was 86,000 and something. It was close to 87,000. But we don't know the true number. We just don't know it. But it's high. Even the president said it's in the thousands. Remember when he originally said if they start killing protesters, we're locked, loaded, and ready, we will come to the rescue? Well, thousands have, that red line was crossed. There is evidence that executions are going on. Oh, but I saved 800 and something. But, Mr. President, that might have been that day or the next day, but they are doing it now. So what does that mean? He keeps going back to what happened with the 800 plus. Okay, but they're doing it now. Oh, we'll hit them very hard. We'll hit them very hard. Keep on protesting. That's not good. That's not good. Just being honest. Iran called his bluff and he tacoed out. That's wishful thinking. I'm sure you're hopeful that that's the case. That's like reassuring yourself that's the case. And I respect your opinion. I disagree. U.S. Navy moves all around the time. That's why they are in so they wouldn't be that they would be somewhere else. It can be anywhere. Russia and China sacrificed Iran. U.S. sacrificed Ukraine, Taiwan in exchange for the Western Hemisphere. That is the art of the deal. John, you know about the Monroe Doctrine. That's part of that Monroe Doctrine, the Monroe Doctrine. I know what you're referring to. And that's what a lot of people, and that is actually what they discuss as a policy. You're right. Could that be a part? It's a good question. And a carrier strike group is formed by minimum one carrier, 4 destroyers. It's a carrier strike group. So where the carrier moves, of course, we know that. It's a carrier strike group. Then the carrier is not just moving by itself. That's obvious. It's got subs, destroyers, everything. Support ships, everything. I think tonight is the night. All signs say so. James, they need help ASAP. They need help ASAP. The longer this plays out, the worse. It just gets, by the minute, by the hour, by the day. It's worse for the people of Iran. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is the people of Iran are suffering so bad, and so many have lost their lives. So many people are going through such... just think about all the family members. Think about the people that were wounded and what happened to them. Think about all the people that are detained. Think about what they're doing right now. They're like prisoners, hostages in their own homes. They can't even come out. Look at the economy. You think this is going away? Do you think this is going away? You think the economies are just going to boom, flourish? They got water issues, they got food issues, they got all kinds of issues. This isn't going away internally for Iran. They may want to try to say we suppressed it, it's a coup d'etat. This shit is not going away, and they know it. They know it. Internally, they've got big problems. Because Tehran could run out of water completely by end of summer. What are you going to do? Remove it? The talk was moving it to the south? The new capital? Really? What about all those people? The millions of people? So this isn't going away. They may want it to go away. It's not going to go away. I definitely think I honestly think China's taking Taiwan. That's just my opinion. I honestly think by the end of the year, China's taking Taiwan. I honestly believe that. You think the United States wants to go into a direct confrontation in their neighborhood war with China? Really? They won't. Look how much assets we have to move in Iran, and I get it. We have to protect our bases. We have to protect Japan. We got to protect our bases in the South China Sea area, the Philippines. Are you kidding? You think they want to start a war with China? China's gonna walk in there, take it, and what are you gonna do? U.S. is gonna say, "Oh, tariffs, this, sanctions." China's taking Taiwan soon. I hate to say it. I truly believe that China's going to take Taiwan. I agree in saying that. How can anyone have faith? Hexat. Well, okay. Good morning, Mohammed. And good morning, Tammy. Good morning to all of you. And look, people that are mods, everybody has, like I always say this, everybody has a right to their opinion as long as they're respectful. I would have said high likelihood it would go today, but given the talks thing, less likely. The talks thing is done. Don't put too much regard into that talks thing. I think we're past that talks thing. I think whatever happened, and I don't think it came out well. I could be wrong. Don't take too much into that talks thing. Because they're not going to accept that they can. Now, maybe they refined the deal, allowing certain levels of enriched uranium production for civilian power plant use. I'm going to tell you right now, you think Iran is going to give up their missile program or put a cap on their missile programs? That's one of the reasons they're able to be in this position right now, because they have the capacity, and we have major concerns about striking Iran because of the retaliation, not only to our bases, allies, but to Israel. So you think they're going to give that up? They may take on the North Korea model. No way. They're not giving that up. Yeah, China has a lot of internal things going on right now. They do. So do we. But yes, they're pretty much the second in command, the espionage, spying through the United States, CIA, nuclear secrets, all that. You think that's going to stop them? You think that's going to stop Xi from taking action? That might even embolden him more. Trump should never said about Greenland gave China. But see, this is what my friend John said in chat. It's the Monroe Doctrine. They're calling it the Donroe Doctrine. You deal with your area. You leave us alone in the Western Hemisphere. You do what you want to do. You can do what you want to do, Putin. If you want to take back your Soviet bloc, we're not going to interfere. China, you got the Asia part. Just leave us alone in the Western Hemisphere and let us do what we want to do. It's like the superpowers are cutting deals. This is your piece of the pie. You can have that piece of the pie. This is our piece of the pie. Really. I hate to say it, but people are calling it the Don Road Doctrine, which he finds funny, humorous. Really, have you seen the video of them rebuilding the nuke site and trying to cover it? Was it shown? Please hate me, ready to quit your fake channel. Well, you don't have to be here if you don't want to. I don't have to ban you for that. I don't have to hate you for that. Just don't tune in. That's all. I don't have to ban you. If you don't like it, just don't be here. It's a fake channel. Let me see what you guys are writing. Plus, Taiwan is Chinese anyway. I mean, it's right off of China, right? You would think that's Chinese territory. Definitely in the Chinese view, that's Chinese territory. All is quiet right now. I keep thinking of those poor people. Yes, Jeff, you're right. It's horrific what's going on. It is, I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's just horrific. Oh yeah, that's true too. The Turkish influence in the region. That's another thing. World War III has been building for a while. Neither side will win, but securing their trade routes. This was our mistake. World War II. Trump not making the same mistake. Yeah, he wanted new leadership in Iran. That is aim, but for now he will use the negotiations until all the shifts in defense. Stepa, I agree with that. It's a stall tactic. I said that last night. Everybody thinks the Iranians are stalling. I think the president is stalling to get everything in place. And you might say, but isn't everything in place? I think in his mind, he wants to be absolutely sure that we're able to defend the bases, Israel, etc. I don't think he's worried about the offensive. I think he's worried about the defensive. I don't think he's worried about the targets in Iran and taking them all out, whatever. He's worrying about the response of Iran. Because Iran will be taken out. They'll be utterly decimated. There's no question. The question is, what will they be able to use as a counter? That's the concern. Would they even use dirty bombs? You know they're going to use hypersonics, all that. But they will be annihilated. That's a given. But you have to worry about what they're able to volley off and the damage that will do. And that's why he's trying to build up those defensive countermeasures. The offensive is there. And maybe they may bring in another carrier. There might be one there now. We don't know. They might know from intelligence satellites. The Chinese and Russians might be providing intelligence to the Iranians. I wouldn't doubt that. So that's what I think. Let's see. Could you explain what these planes are doing? Well, the ones on the left are civilian traffic. It's just getting dark there. The other one is military and unknown drones, etc. There was a drone earlier out there, an Iranian drone. I haven't seen the MQ hours in some time, actually. I've got to change. Okay, so that's a PC. That's a C-130. What is in here? C-17, a lot of C-17 movement still. A C-5. Look at there's the Super Galaxies coming in. C-17. See, they're still bringing in heavy equipment. They're still bringing it in. So for those think that this is not going to happen, think twice. They're still bringing in heavy equipment is coming in. The Super Galaxy alone is a beast. That's a beast. So people might, have the wool over their eyes thinking nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to happen, taco. Okay, keep talking like that while he's taking time to build up in the region. Keep thinking that. It's good. And a lot of activity has been coming out of Spain with the fuelers, especially the Pegasus. And you know where that baby's heading. It's coming in. A lot of C-17s. Look at all the C-17s. There's a lot of movement here. And like I said, the C-5, the Super Galaxy. It left Germany. Where do you think that's going? Like they've been going. Right to the region. What do you think is on there? Probably the THAAD missiles, Patriot missiles. That's all probably the defensive countermeasure right in that plane alone. What base is it going to be sent to? Who knows? That's exactly what they're doing. They're setting up defensive posture. That's what they're doing. You wouldn't do that if you didn't think there's a possibility that you're still going to attack, because you're going to need that. It makes total sense. And look at all the C-17s. They're coming in, they're going out. C-130, another C-17 coming in. They're still doing a lot of movement here. I mean, again, people say, well, the president. It's not the president. The military is going to do what they have to do to prepare in the event of a strike. It's not the president that's in charge of what the generals do, commanders do, CENTCOM does. The military. People right away, the president. The president was the one that makes the call. The military will make sure we are ready. And then the president will make that decision. So this talk about Taco, the president, oh, believe me, he's got the greatest military in modern times, or maybe in all of history, at his disposal. And they're still prepping. Mr. President, we're now in a position where we think we can strike and deal with the counterstrike. Then it's up to the president to decide. All this other talk is nonsense when you really come down to it, in my opinion. Let's see. Russia and China having war games at sea with Iran. Do you know that got postponed, right? Where are you getting that from? You saw that video of the destroyers, the 2 Chinese destroyers heading? Do we have evidence that they're there? That they're actually in the region? They could be close. Do you see a Chinese destroyer near an active area of Alcaria? Do you really? That's a confrontation that could really spark off World War III. I don't think so. I'm trying to catch up to everything everybody's saying. Don't forget that these people have a totally different mindset, and it's evil. You can't not reason with them because they just lie to get to their own ends. But you know what? They probably, Jeff, and I agree with you, but they probably think about the same about us. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be objective here. They probably think the same about us. Like Uncle Tank says, may God bless and protect the people of Iran and all the victims of war. May light overtake darkness. Bless all those fighting the good fight. Amen. I agree with that. 100%. What do you think will happen to Israel? God only knows. Israel's the size of New Jersey. It's small. And after the 12th day, Iran knows what got through. And they're going to monopolize on that. That's just a fact. They know what got through. They know the vulnerabilities. That's a scary thing. We saw a lot of different types of things going on with the drones, missiles, but those hypersonics. Now they do have ICBMs. They tested one last week, and it was launched towards Siberia with Russia's permission. That did happen. So I mean, and they have an arsenal of armor penetration that detonates inside the hull. There is one that is, it's nothing to mess with. Do not underestimate what Iran has in their arsenal. I'm going to tell you that right now. A lot of people think it's a pushover. They are not. And especially with the Chinese, Russia, that's a different story, but the Chinese. Russia and China having war games at sea with Iran. Okay, I read that. The nicest people I ever met were Israeli. That saved me. And my first son was Israeli, and I still remember Star David, her Star David she wore. Nothing but love for y'all. Absolutely. The ones over Saudi Arabia are civilian? No. Which were? These? These are labeled as military or unidentified or drones. This could be a little exercise that's going on. They do this training exercises with these planes. They're red. There they are. I even knew the color. That's what you see. They're just doing that. I looked those up. They're usually used for training. But here's a C-130. It took off from Bahrain. Egypt. Italy. Italy's been doing a lot of that too, helping in movement of stuff. Definitely the UK. Italy's been involved too. I've seen that quite a bit actually. The Italians active in the area. So there's the two C-17s. There's a third coming in. There's a C-130 going out. There's a lot of movement. Another C-17. I don't know where that's destined to go, but I'm watching this big boy. This big boy's coming. What's on that? Dads, most likely. Most likely. Could be Patriots. Could be anything. If I had to guess, it's Dodds. That's a big boy coming in. It's definitely coming in. Because there's been a lot coming from Ramstein and the UK, even Ireland, even Scotland. They're coming from everywhere. Spain is the main place that all those, Spain is the main place that they send the Pegasus tankers to. There was a few of them yesterday. Now, it's not really there. It's a little bit more to the west. But we got to watch. There's plenty of civilian traffic. Plenty. I need more coffee. Okay, that's Egypt. UK. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. When are the Navy drills supposed to end? You don't do this kind of build-up without nothing meant to happen. I agree with you, Smokey. I agree with you. Kevin's been saying that. A lot of us have been saying that. You don't put all these assets in there for nothing. They're just, it's not like they're bringing the numbers down. They're increasing it. They're putting more. You would think they're pushing in more. It keeps coming. They're building and building. While all this talk is going on between the rhetoric on both sides, while all that's going on, talks, this, that, they're putting in more assets. More logistical support is coming in. Keep talking. Keep talking. We want you to talk while we do this. It's a stall. Go ahead, keep talking. We'll see what happens. Maybe nothing happens, but I agree with you. Okay, let's see. Sammy, here am I? You don't, yeah, I said that. Just look at Gaza. They had agreed to all demands, but carried on digging tunnels and plotting against Israel. Remember, that whole thing is about the destruction of Israel. From day one. That whole thing. Now, technically, they may have never attacked another country, but they sure used their proxies to do attacking to Israel. They may not have had their hands directly until that exchange that happened in the 12th day, but put that to the side. They say, we never attacked another country. No, you may not technically have, but you sure used your proxies to attack and kill. So I'm just trying to catch up. I'm trying to get to all of it. Does look like the red arrows. I seen the red arrows live in a show. Those reds could be CIA. They don't mind a little. No, you got to look up the plane before you reach any conclusions. Those are Saudi planes. They're around the region, actually. UAE uses them too. Well, there are 90 million, more than double the population. You don't see half the population in the streets. I bet it's the Epstein files. Oh yeah, they've been using that to attack the president. They've been using ICE protests against the president. They've even gone after Elon. Of course they're going to throw that into the game. I mean, if we're going to get into shit like that, I don't even want to start about. I don't even want to go into those guttural exchanges. Let's just put it that way. The UK government still not designated them a terrorist organization. I feel ashamed of them. Well, they need to get the IRGC headquarters out of central London. That would be a good start. No? I think between Italy and Spain, we have 7 U.S. bases. Red one, yeah, they look like the arrows. People laughing about Iran's missiles and construction of it, but yet you want to disarm them from their missiles. Something is not right there. Well, I mean, they still have thousands of missiles. The thing I'm saying is, how could you tell a nation not to have a defense? I'm just saying, objectively, how do you tell a nation you got to get rid of all your missiles? Would any nation agree to that for their sovereignty, the protection of their sovereignty? Like, okay, we're going to get rid of all our missiles. That's what we use as a deterrence. Well, so we're just going to get rid of our missiles now. No one would agree to that. No one. Hell no. You might as well just put all your arms away and just say, okay, we give in. That's insane. Yeah, looks like they're preparing for war. Regime change. Well, he did say, didn't he say, it's time for new leadership in Iran? He did say that. Is he going to walk that back? You think he's going to walk that back? He knows the threats that are directed toward him too. They threaten him again. Next time it won't miss the target. On state TV showing the photo from what happened here. And they put that caption on state TV underneath it. Next time it won't miss its target. Something like that. Really? That's a direct threat to the President of the United States. So do you think the President is not aware of all this stuff too? They tried to attempt to assassinate him once. He has to take all these things into consideration. And believe me, um, if you don't think UAE and Saudi would commit helping U.S. unless they knew there was going to be a regime change. China half skipping a jump away, thus the build-up. Well, they took it out of the South China Sea. Yeah, that's the one term to the deal that's out of touch. Agreed. They're never going to agree to that. Another part of the deal was the support of the proxies or their allies. They're never going to cut that off. Never. It's okay to disagree, folks. We can disagree. It's fine. We don't all have to agree. I wonder if us Aussies are designated as terrorists. We labeled the RDC as terrorists last year. You probably are, if they labeled everybody else. You probably are. Can we all... Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to respond to the stuff that's going... I know in the chat it's too nice for a lot of the political... Yeah. I mean, we definitely have differences. Like, even in this country, politically, we have differences. Everybody here is cool and chill. Really, everybody is. And of course, are we all supposed to agree with each other? I think I would be like a robot. Good morning, Sean. And I don't know if I said hello to you, Ida. Hello to everybody. You think it could happen tonight? Anything's possible. Anybody here can speculate tonight, next week, 2 weeks, a month. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I can only show you what, like, certain things that have been appearing. But it's rhetoric, it's talk, it's the usual. I hate to say it, it's the usual. I mean, he posted this morning, I shared this. Khomeini. We are not the initiators of war. We do not seek to oppress anyone. We do not seek to attack any country. However, anyone who seeks to attack or cause harm will face a decisive blow from the Iranian nation. The Americans sometimes talk about war, saying we will come with warships and aircraft. Is nothing new. I've never seen a force like this. I mean, we've had carriers in the Red Sea, in the Med. I've never seen a buildup like this before. This is not like normal. Just saying. This is nothing new. Oh, yes, this is something new. You've never seen an semblance of force in your area, and you're the target like this. Never. The Iranian nation is not affected by such talk. It's not talk, it's also action. Are you not paying attention? Are you spending too much time in that bunker that you're not getting enough air to see what's going on? They shouldn't try to intimidate the Iranian nation with such things. The Americans should know that if they start a war, this time it will be a regional war. Now, the Saudis, do you think that the Saudis, privately they might say, "Oh, we're not going to be involved." You know, the Saudis would love to see the regime fall. There are quite a few nations in the Middle East that would love to see Iran fall. The Shia-Sunni thing. I mean, they might say something publicly, but behind the scenes, they're like, get them. Do us a favor. Really. I mean, my gosh. The talk. And you know, it's typical, the rhetoric. From both sides. But give me a break. Give me a break. Let's see if they got anything else. Oh, this is interesting. Check out this one. Look at this one. I thought it was the 8th and 9th. Wait, hold on. Let me get rid of this one. It's Iran International, English. 18 minutes ago, Iranian President Office said on Sunday that it was releasing the names of 2,986 people it said were killed in recent unrest, describing all the victims as children of this land. That's different. The presidential office said that the list was published under a policy of transparency and accountability and on the president's orders. I'm not even going to try to say his name. After the names were compiled by Iran's legal medicine organization and cross-checked with the National Civil Registry. Then it says under here, more than 36,500 Iranians were killed by security forces during the January 8th night crackdown on nationwide protests, making it the deadliest two-day protest massacre in history. It only compares to World War II. I've been saying that, according to documents reviewed by Iran International. I seen that. You got to see what's going on. An Iranian official told Reuters on Sunday that media reports that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps plans to hold military exercise in the Strait of Hormuz is incorrect. Iran Press TV reported Thursday that the force would carry out drills in the strategic waterway on February 1st and 2nd. There was no plan for the guards to hold military exercise there, and there were no official announcement about it. Only media reports were wrong. That's why there's a lot of confusion about that drill, so allegedly with the Chinese and the Russians. They're denying it. And here's another crazy thing. Look at this. This was this morning in Iran. Iranian lawmakers wore Revolutionary Guard uniforms and chanted slogans in parliament on Sunday in reaction to the European Union's designation of the IRGC as a terrorist organization. In the video, and we could play it, which I should. In the video, the MPs are heard chanting, "Death to America, death to Israel, and shame on Europe." Now, Sep is not here, so the Persian part I can't do. In the video, the MPs are heard chanting, "Death to America, death to Israel, and shame on Europe." Sep is not here, so the Persian part I can't do. In the video, the MPs are heard chanting, "Death to America, death to Israel, and shame on Europe." Sep is not here, so the Persian part I can't do. Does that look like somebody you can negotiate with? Does it? Does that look like somebody you can negotiate with? Seriously? Seriously? I don't think so. So, meanwhile, we want to have a deal. Meanwhile, they're chanting "Death to America, death to Israel." Their parliament, every one of them, dressed in IRGC uniforms. That was this morning. Local time, in Iran. Oh my God. So, look at this one. You want to see, this is crazy. This is crazy. And this was 2 hours ago. Iran's prosecutor general Mohammad Movahedi praised police forces for what he called their role in containing recent unrest, saying officers acted empty-handed because they were not permitted to use weapons. Khomeini said to use deadly force. What the hell is this? Speaking at a police gathering, he said that security forces had brought the situation under control despite casualties amongst officers, and stressed close coordination between police and the judiciary. And then it says here about the crackdown, about the amount of people, and that's the Iran International. I mean, what? What? I mean, what? This is fucking delusional. This is just nuts. And there we go. U.S. must strengthen air defenses in Mid-East before any strike. That was the Wall Street Journal this morning. Supposedly talking to military officials. Now, I will say this. Do not be surprised that the United States is using the media to put out a certain narrative so that everybody can go with it, because they know everybody's watching, including the Iranians, everything, including what Tusi does and Goldie and all that. They're watching. And they're seeing the chatter. And they see this and like, oh shit, the United States ain't doing nothing for weeks. They're not ready. Maybe, maybe not. But they could work with the media to put out a certain narrative. I mean, the other side does it, right? With their media. So yeah, that's crazy about that. That's crazy. I mean, that's just madness, in my opinion. That's madness. I mean, take that for whatever it's worth, but I think that's madness. Like, we're supposed to buy that. I feel sorry for those people in Iran. Oh my God. While all this shit is going on, they're the ones who are suffering. It's disgusting. And I can't imagine what they're planning on hangings and executions, and doctors are missing, killing the wounded. What about all that? Who are the victims? Children, mothers and fathers, young people, old people. It didn't matter. It was indiscriminate slaughter, period. Could you imagine at our protests in this country, they came out with that kind of response, shooting the crowd at our protests? And yes, they definitely get violent, some of them. They cause chaos, Molotovs, all that. And the utmost restraint dealing with that, being hit with bottles and rocks and who knows what. Sadly, shit happens, even here. But this is indiscriminate slaughter of people out there protesting, speaking their voice, chanting, whatever they're saying. Now, you can only imagine the people who were tearing down, burning flags or images of Khomeini or whatever. They are so done. They are definitely done. They're definitely going to be... I'm afraid to even think of what those people are going to go through. Because I'm going to tell you, in the beginning, you know what the security forces, the police were doing? Because I've seen videos. It's been a while. They were standing on the sidelines. This is before the slaughter began. They were standing on the sidelines and they were filming everybody to get their faces. You think those drones, what do you think those drones were doing to get face recognition? They're trying to get everybody they can that was part of these protests. They're going house to house, we've heard that. They're trying to identify everybody who was involved. What happens to all those people? It's just unimaginable. It's unimaginable. What's up, Petro? There are steps Trump is doing. As a peace president, I had so everyone I want to talk don't like wars. Nobody likes war. Why would you want war? War is the absolute worst outcome of any situation. But sometimes you can't, dialogue doesn't work, whatever, it's whatever the reasons, and then the resort is to use lethal force, war. Who suffers? I've said this a million times, civilians. The innocent suffers. That's who suffers, the innocents. Does anyone see tankers in the air? There was a C5 coming in right here. That's coming. That's a big boy. That one's coming in. That's a big boy too. That's Italy. See, even Italy's involved. I said that earlier. This is the Saudis with their training planes. Germany? Wow. Wow, it's really windy here. I'm tired of this cold weather, I gotta tell you. I'm not seeing anything coming from Spain. But then again, that doesn't mean they're not there because their transponders are off. Here's a Poseidon in the Black Sea. That's a C-17 going, coming, going, coming, going. A lot of C-17s, a C-130. There was an Iranian drone here earlier. Let me check my filter. I don't see it now, but it was there. That doesn't mean there's stuff out, not, it's out there that we just can't see. I want to see if there's anything coming from the States. Quiet. Quiet in the Pacific. But that doesn't mean they're not there. Let's look at Asia. A lot of them are not showing their... Where's this boy going? That might be coming in too. Definitely looks like it's coming in too. There's a lot of movement. There's a Poseidon out here. Interesting that there's a Poseidon out there. That's way out. So yeah, we just gotta, keep an eye. There's still a lot of civilian traffic. A lot. It's getting dark now in Iran. Alexa, what time is it in Iran?
It's 6:24 p.m. in Tehran, Iran.
Okay, going back to you guys. Exactly. Imagine.
Was that for me?
No, Alexa, stop. Imagine the stuff we're not seeing. Moving supply and support. Yes. Definitely. When you see the super galaxy coming in, and there's been
Was that for me?
Alexa, stop. When you see that super galaxy, that's a big boy. Ain't no gas in it, Uncle Tank. Imagine a world without war. How would that be? It would be amazing. It would be amazing if we all got along. It really would. It's about, respecting sovereignty, respecting countries' rights to do what they want to do in their country. You may not like it, but that's their right to. But when it's like this is a different story. I mean, obviously, look at what's going on in Iran. I mean, that's something you can't even compare. And a lot of people are trying to tie the Gaza thing in to compare. You cannot compare. The slaughter that happened in such a small span of time is, like I said, you got to go back to World War II. World War II. Do you see the Korean planes that flew in last night? Brian, I did not. I'm sure Sepp was probably talking about it last night when I went to bed. Good morning, Candace. So, when he flew to Iran from France, if Trump is going to make a symbolic move, now is the time. Everybody, look, many of us, I can't say all, many of us say it's got to happen sooner rather than later. All of us. Not all of us. Let me rephrase that because there's some here that is pro-regime. Most of us know the situation. We know what's the information coming out. Thanks to people like Tusi and Goldie and Armin. And we try to get whatever we can, but it's coming off at social media. And Sepp has been getting stuff because he's got his connections going on as well. But I think most of us want to see something happen like now. Not tomorrow. Like now. But they're really concerned about protecting Israel. The Arab countries in the surrounding area are concerned about them getting attacked. So they're trying to prop up the defenses in those countries. We definitely got to protect our forces. My God, that's the priority as the president, commander-in-chief. That's the number one to me. Protect our men and women of the armed forces. That is priority. That's number one. Regardless of what anybody could say, yes, we got to protect Israel, protect this. When it comes down to it, the president is responsible for our people. And he's going to do everything he can to make sure that that is done. So, they may not think, and I had the article up earlier, they say we're not ready. I mean, and meanwhile, you think the people of Iran want to hear that? Of course not. Let me see if this is the one. No, that's not the one. I mean, I took a screenshot of this earlier. Because it was something that came from the Wall Street Journal. According to U.S. officials, this was this morning, speaking to the Wall Street Journal, the Pentagon is deploying additional air defense systems. We're seeing it going on the screen. They're still bringing in supplies, THAAD missiles, etc. I guarantee it. Patriots, whatever they need, to protect Israel, Arab allies, and U.S. forces. Duh. I just said that. Duh. Officials say a U.S. strike on Iran is not expected in the immediate future, with Washington instead prioritizing defensive preparations against potential Iranian retaliation or a broader regional conflict, like they're threatening. While limited strikes remain an option, limited strikes is not the option. We have to go in and hit it hard. A large-scale attack would likely provoke a major response from Tehran. Of course it would. The U.S. expanding its defense footprint by deploying Patriot and THAAD missiles to bases in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, reinforcing naval destroyers, and you know that another one came in a few days ago, already operating in the region. Regional partners, including Gulf states, are also strengthening missile defense capabilities, with Saudi Arabia already receiving several THAAD batteries. That's what's going on. The other stuff you're hearing is all play. From time, buying time. That's all it is. It's a play. To buy time. And I understand, you don't want to hear that.
The Yankees are
Alexa,
looking
stop.
to improve against left-handed pitching.
Alexa, stop. I know I've mentioned that earlier, Petros, but do we know that's true? Even though Reuters, I read that earlier about they have no plan to hold military exercise in the Gulf right now. But I read they're going to still do it in a couple of weeks, a few weeks, with the Chinese and Russia. There's still a plan out there sometime mid or end of February. There's still some talk of an exercise.
It's a sunny Sunday.
Alexa,
12
stop.
degrees and a high of 23.
Alexa,
Feels
stop.
like
My God. Sounds like a threat, right, Candace? And that's another thing. SJ, Wall Street Journal. Yeah. Take that for what it's worth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not in the aspect of morality, but economic, political. What's most important for the U.S.? Iran or Taiwan? Well, my God. Geopolitically, Iran. I mean, in my opinion, it changes the region in so many ways. You would instantly have peace if Reza Pahlavi you're instantly going to have a relationship with Israel. They're going to be recognized as a state. You're going to immediately see relations reestablished between the two. All this heightened tension is going to be reduced. If things work out. It also takes the influence of China and Russia out of Iran. Now, they still will have negotiations with oil and all that. It changes so much. We would probably have bases in the future in Iran, which other countries in the region will not like. You know how the Saudi says, you can't use our airspace, cut it, you can't use ours either. No, well, Iran would welcome it. You don't think they would want the United States to help protect them? If that were to happen? In so many ways, it changes so much. Taiwan, yes, it has its importance economically, even in a political level, but is it as important? Especially when you hear the president saying that Taiwanese companies are investing in the United States, building factories and all that stuff. I don't know. I guess it depends on who you're asking. Some people might think Taiwan is more important. It's a good question. It's a valid question. Yeah, Alexa feels left out, right? It is very talkative. It's the Alexa Plus. It goes nuts. It just doesn't stop. It's not like the original Alexa. You have to say, Alexa, Alexa this, not this one. This one just keeps yapping.
Was that for me?
Alexa, stop. What happens if Russia and China put boots on the ground? World War III.
I understand you're interested in global
I'm not even
affairs, but I
kidding.
can't
Alexa,
speculate.
stop. Or somebody backs off. It's a great question. That's another great. But with Russia with its hands full with Ukraine and China with its internal issues, do you think they want to get involved in this right now? Really? Russia's economy is trash too. Do you really? Russia's concerned about NATO's posture and the region. They got their own little headaches going on up there. You think they're going to get involved in another situation? I don't see that. As far as China might say, okay, let's not get involved, but this might be a good time planning to take Taiwan. It depends on your opinion. You know, you could look at this so many different ways. Russia can't afford to put boots on the ground right now. I agree with Dan, 100%. They have lost a lot in the Ukraine war. That's another thing. That's true. That is very true. As far as ground troops, oh my God, both sides. They have lost a lot in the Ukraine war. Russia is a bit tied up. China is the wild card. Well, China is doing what they're doing already to aid logistically, probably hardware, everything else to Iran as we speak. How were things going? Good morning, Real Living Free. Maddie. That's funny. That is funny, dude. Oh my gosh. And good morning, Info Warrior. A little help goes a long way in this high tech world. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially when you're talking about missile technology, even drone technology, even defensive technology. You know, oh, yeah. A little help goes a long way. And you don't think we're not concerned about that? You better believe we are. Don't make me hungry. Don't even bring up food. Saudi was like, they don't allow U.S. to use the lands to attack, but quickly changed to Iran, and it's the most dangerous in the Middle East. We gotta remember, they're enemies. They are enemies. Don't need to put boots on the ground. Iran already needs support. Yeah, the Iranian people are just standing by, ready to go back out there, but you think they're gonna risk themselves now? They have lost faith in us. They must be going absolutely. I can't even use the words. I would let Sepp curse in every other sentence on how upset people are, and I don't blame him. I told him that. I don't blame you. It's like, what is going on? What about the people of Iran? While all this shit is going on, every day that passes by, what about the people of Iran? Those are his people. And the people in Iran themselves. I mean, you can't put yourself in their position. I can't. I can't even imagine. Oh, BLT sounds good right now. Smokey says Russia has lost way more soldiers than Ukraine. Saudi Arabia and U.S. are allies, not enemies. True. But if you think I was referring to that, Saudi Arabia and Iran are enemies. They're enemies. They may have their discussions, but they are enemies. What? Hello, nope, Russian didn't lose more than Ukraine. Bad info? Is that what you think, Gene? It's a good question. I don't know. I have never looked into the numbers, to be honest. I don't think the USA should do anything. I believe it's Iranian propaganda so that the USA move military equipment into Iran, which they can sell to boost their economy. Remember, the industrial complex is a money-making machine. That's the one thing about war. It's a money machine. I think Israel is purchasing Apache helicopters in like a multi-billion-dollar deal. I read that somewhere. I didn't read the whole article. Too many atrocities, which may have to speed up the process. How do you let this go unanswered? That's the question. How do you allow this to go unanswered? Right? And I agree with somebody. Karma's a bitch. Somebody brought up karma. Karma's a bitch. I hate to use the language, but let's see what else you guys are saying. Creamers, what's up? So Creamers also says, LOL, Russia hasn't lost way more soldiers than Ukraine. Yeah, Chantal, I wasn't paying mind to it. Yeah, someone commented that Russia lost more than Ukraine. They're just having a debate in one of the chats, which is good. Carrier left. Oh yeah, that was the talk. That is not confirmed or true. They just sent out a drone this morning to check on the Lincoln. If it left Oman, they wouldn't have sent that drone out. That's wishful thinking. Now, is it right in the mouth of the Gulf of Oman? That is stupid to keep a carrier that close. They're going to keep it a distance away. They're not going to put it right there. That's like putting X marks the spot. They're going to keep it a certain distance away. So did it leave the Gulf of Oman? Is it in the Arabian Sea? Let's see. Hormuz is clear. This is civilian. I have to zoom in to make sure. There's still a lot of air traffic in there. There's still quite a bit. Here comes that super galaxy. Where is it headed? Good question. Is it heading to Qatar? I hope not. Maybe it'll go to Israel, Jordan, or I don't even know. Maybe this to Riyadh. Who knows? If that lands in Qatar, I'd be surprised. Wherever that lands, they're helping with their defense. Because they're probably Athads or Patriots or both on that plane. That super galaxy right here. Would not be surprised. At all. Let me go back to what you guys are saying in here. And another comment from someone. Yeah, you're speaking about soldiers. Russia lost so many troops they had to recruit North Koreans, FFS, to get smart. And I know, FFS, I'm just saying it that way. I'm just reading your comments, and you guys are having a conversation, which is great. Exactly. And even put migrants on the front line. Yeah, there's still a lot of traffic out there. How was... Bill, watch this, please. Yes, Ramstein is Germany. So where one of the bases are. We've seen a Marine aircraft, but it looked like it could be for personnel. I mean, I'm assuming. I hate when it does that. Oh, we're going back to the N12? Let me translate it. Yes, Mom. He's fine, Mom. He went outside, now he's sleeping. He's fine. He's fine. Anyway, are we talking about this? Yes, this was already known, if this is what you're referring to. I know, Mom. This is what I'm looking at. If this is the article you're referring to, this was already out there, but I'll share it on the screen. This is like old news. If that's what you're referring to. The Russian-Ukraine conflict just hurts all around. I have family from both countries. It's devastating to see what has become of Donetsk. Don't get me even started. I wrote a letter to the president, and I got a letter back. I did, and it had to do with Ukraine. I could tell you, I don't want to get off topic, but I did write a letter to the president, and I got a letter back. Do you want me to tell you what I wrote? Because I am proactive. I wrote the White House correspondence. I do. I've done it in the past. In his first administration, I got really great feedback. Because I like to be active that way, proactive. But that's just me. Now, some people don't like to do that because when you go in there, you're going to reveal all your information. They're going to know everything. But I have no problem doing that. Let me see. I gotta pull up my. It's in my. I think it's in my new songs. I put it in there. I'll read to you. And I know it's off topic, but you guys keep bringing up the Ukraine thing. I'm trying to look because I know I have it. I would have to look at the email I sent out. It had to do with the minerals deal that we did with Ukraine and the amount of money that is currently sitting underground that the Russians occupy right now. It's trillions of dollars worth of resources, rare earth, oil, gas, coal, you name it. And the Russians would get that. But they were trying to do a side deal, Witkoff and his son-in-law, a side deal with the Russians to make it an economic free zone where we can go in and grab stuff ourselves. They were doing a side deal with them. Meanwhile, we signed a minerals deal with Ukraine on April 30th of last year, which gives us 50% of all future profits from anything that's done. And we have preferential access, the United States, to any of it. And I was like, do you guys, I'm trying to find what I wrote. This way you could see the context when I show his letter. The response back. President letter 2025. Okay, here's what I wrote to the president. This is off topic, I know. You guys talking about Ukraine. This is what I wrote to the president. Dear Mr. President, first, God bless you, your family, and all those that stand beside you and your America First policies. I would like to bring to your attention, if your staff has not already indicated or spoke with you, concerning the minerals deal you signed with Ukraine. If Russia were allowed to claim existing territory it now occupies, they would also be retaining 70% of Ukraine's resources, including rare earth minerals, which are held hostage by China, because China is dominant in that market. Please do not allow Russia to take this territory, since it could be, at some estimates, worth $12 trillion. The deal you made with Ukraine will provide preferential access by U.S. companies and 50% of all future mining profits for all of Ukraine's resources. This is, in my opinion, a major national security interest for the United States and an incredible boost for our economy and less dependency on other countries, specifically China. This could be a legacy moment for you, your administration, and our country for many years to come. If you provide Ukraine with any type of support, they can foot that bill with their share of profits and pay us back, and not at any cost to the American taxpayer. Please consider the ramifications of agreeing to existing lines and how this would be a major blow to minerals deal and would reboost Russia's economy, which would make them an economic world power once again, not just militarily. Have your staff look into resource locations in Ukraine and the vast majority that are now in Russian-occupied territory. I pray for you, your family, and all of us who love our country and want America great again. Keep up your fight for all of us and America first. God bless you, Mr. President. That's what I wrote. Okay? Now, this is the response I got. December 10th. And I'm going to share it. I got to find it. But I'm going to share it on the screen. So I like to be proactive with respect. Did you see how much respect? Let me see. I'm trying to find it. And I know I'm off topic right now. Oh my gosh, I can't find it. Let me see. I have so much stuff that I've been downloading for these streams. No. Jeez. Well, I'm not gonna waste time. I could look up the email, but I don't want to put that up on the screen. Today, let's do date modified. This might help. Oh God, here we go.
Bro,
What?
would you be so kind to give me a ride to the gym?
What?
Please, I want to get.
I'm live streaming. Right now?
Well, I have to work out for at least 3 hours today, bro. I gotta get that work.
And then I have to go get you and pick you up?
I could,
Yes.
I could linger, bro, within your own time. You feel me? Like it's Sunday, bro.
All right, give me like 15 minutes because then I'll end the stream because I don't want everybody just here hanging out while I'm gone.
Okay, bro.
Give me a few minutes.
I love you, bro.
Give me a few minutes. Go, do your thing. That's not going to get you anywhere. All right, come on, I'm live. What the hell are you doing? You fuck. Think people might take it the wrong way. All right. Oh my God. Trump response. This is it. I found it. Okay. So this is what the president, the office sent back. I took my name off, of course. Thank you for taking the time to share your views regarding the war in Ukraine and Russia. As president, I am steadfastly committed to restoring a foreign policy of peace through strength that puts the American people first. Guided by this common sense vision, my administration has already brokered major peace agreements between nations across the globe that have been torn apart by decades of fighting. We have ensured that the NATO allies dramatically increased their own financial contributions to Europe's security, a major win for American taxpayers. And we have rebuilt our own military readiness, achieving the highest recruitment numbers in years. Because when our country is strong, the world is stable, and Americans are more secure, prosperous, and free. Thank you again for writing. Please know that I will continue to pursue a peaceful resolution to the war in Ukraine and Russia that puts America first, protects our citizens, and promotes stability and prosperity at home and abroad. Blessed are the peacemakers. There you go. That's the response I got on December 10th. So like a month and a half ago. So just to give you guys a little perspective, I do communicate. I do write to the White House. And I definitely wrote about Ukraine. I know I went way off topic. I get it. But let's just give you a little background. All right, getting back to you guys. Okay, I don't see anything new unless the stream stop it. I'm not seeing much in the chat now. Let me see if there's anything new going on. Smokey, is that my son? It is a long story. Long story. I'll let him tell the story one day. He's a friend, and he had he called the police on his sister, domestic violence. He couldn't stay there anymore. He has no family here. He's Dominican. His mom's in Dominican Republic. He had nowhere to go. Mom and I took him in. It was a whole thing. And he is so grateful to us. That is a human thing to do with him. You don't even know. Why is the chat not catching up to what you guys are saying? My chat is not working. I'm going to have to refresh it. Something happened. I see you guys on OBS talking, but I'm not seeing the chat going on. It's crazy. All right, now I'm catching up. You guys are too much, you know that? You guys talking about gas. I changed the subject. I just wanted to show you about the Ukraine thing because that was brought up. The latest update is there really is no update. It looks like we're just waiting, postponing for a reason to get ready. Is that your son? Smokey says. This is way more than save the people. If U.S. goes in, they are not leaving oil, oil, oil. Of course there's going to be investments made in Iran. Of course that's part of it. You'd be naive to think it wasn't. No doubt. There's always that side. Smokey, you're funny, dude. Okay. No, he's not my son. He's like a son, though. Fair play, Bill. 2C in 20 minutes. Good, I got to get off. And I can actually bring him here. You want to hear the story from him? I don't want to put him on the spot like that. Well, that's what happened to me yesterday. When you were having all those problems, I was the only one in the chat. There was nobody else. What is he doing? What is Tusi doing? Is not doing. He just going to show the protest. Yeah, because he took part in a protest, didn't he? Yeah, he's at the protest. Yeah. That's today he was taking part? I thought it was yesterday. Oh, it was today. He was up late last night saying that he was going to partake in it. That's right. It is today. Good on him, not worried about people trying to threaten him, and he's going out there and still doing what he has to do. Because trust me, that is not necessarily safe for him to do. So good on him. He is kind of like adopted. Let's see. What's this link you guys are putting in? I'll have to check that out later. It's a short. Reports say another explosion were heard today. Southern running port of Bandar Abbas. Really? I'll look. How long before Tusi? But he's doing the protests. I mean, we have to make sure we confirm stuff. I'll tell you one thing about him, Kendrick. He'll be the first one to say this. If that dude has my back, if anybody fucked with me, they gotta fuck with him too. He's like super loyal. It is crazy. He doesn't show emotion. That was weird. He does not show emotion. He doesn't talk much. I hardly ever see him. He works. He's going to the gym now, or he goes to his room. I hardly ever see him. It's crazy. We hardly speak. That's the most I've heard from him in like 3 days. Seriously. And I brought that up to him. It's kind of weird. He'll be the first one to say it too. Oh shit. Tusi put it up. Oh shit, Tusi put this up. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share Tusi's link. This is what Tusi put up. Let me make it larger. This is a pain. Tusi, 35 minutes ago, breaking another explosion in Bandar Abbas. And that's on the top floor. You think that's gas? You think that's a gas leak? That looks like something was taken out on that top floor. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? See, Tusi's putting it out there. Do you know he did that shit to fucking bother me because he knew I was live? You know that, right? He knew that would annoy me. He did that shit on purpose. That's why he didn't let go. He did that shit on purpose. I'm thinking about that shit. He's gonna hear it from me after I get off. Trust me, he's gonna hear it. Yeah. What? They described the blaze as a normal fire. Tasnim News Agency, which is affiliated with the IRGC, described this as a normal fire. Yes.
I gotta wash clothes. Do you gotta wash any clothes?
Only a couple of my shirts.
Can we throw it together, bro?
Do it now.
It's the uniform.
Do it now before you leave. And come here. People want to know. Now I'm going to put your ass on the spot. A lot of people are asking questions. They think you're my son. And tell them like what we are, how, you know, things that you happen in your life. I'm not going to get into the details. And how I've been here, and mom too.
Yeah, mom too. Yeah.
How we've been here for you.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
And trust me, like I say, you know, this is true because we had this conversation. We hardly even talk. We hardly hang out. Right?
Yeah.
He's always working. Now he wants to go to the gym where he works. Then he goes to his room and does his work in there. I do my work here. You hardly ever see any interaction. I hardly have any interaction with him. And matter of fact, it was brought up in a conversation in the car a few days ago.
Yeah, it's true.
But I'll tell you one thing. He has my fucking back. Right?
Hell yeah, dude. We have a connection.
We have a connection.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Yeah. You could say I'm the uncle, like a mentor.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. Anyway, go do your thing.
All right, bro.
And I'll put a few of my clothes in.
All right.
So mom and I, and really me, but we have that kind of relationship. He's not I wouldn't say a roommate. He's living here and paying rent. We have bedrooms, you know, we have the space. He's very responsible. He works. What is going on now? And the goal for him, this is the goal. I don't want to get into his personal business. He needs to save money, work. He's got a lot of things he needs to address. I don't know why I'm talking about this now, but he's got to get his license back because it's suspended on tickets he owes. He has to buy a car. I'm saving money for him. And he has to get on his feet. He wants to go to the military. He's 31 years old. He may not look it. I don't want to show his ID, but he looks a lot younger than he is. He wants to go to the military. That's his plan. Then eventually get out of the military and become a New York State trooper. That's his plan. I don't know if that's realistic. He's studying for the test. All that. He wants to go into the military. I didn't want to bring that up, but I don't want to talk too much about his personal business. But every time, here's the shit. Every time he's going to save money, I need stuff for my inline skates. I now need AirPods. Mine broke. I'm like, dude, how the fuck are you going to save money if you keep asking me to buy all this other shit? He gets all these vitamins and powdered drinks and all the shit to work out. Like, dude, how are you going to save money? I think he wants to go. I could ask him. I think he wants to go into the National Guard. Don't ask me. I don't know what, he's studying for some test. But anyway, that's enough of that. And you see, he's very soft-spoken. He doesn't speak much. He's a loner. He isolates himself. And I encourage him to go hang out with the people at the gym and socialize. You have to develop social skills. What's the word when you call a person an introvert? He's definitely an introvert. Oh my God, he's an introvert on steroids. I sound like a sugar daddy. Oh my God. But Mom and I are looking out for him. until the time he can go his own way. Believe me, with mom, she'd rather happen sooner rather than later. Trust me. I know, no, I'm laughing, Frame. I'm laughing. That's funny. I laughed at what you said. Chaos, get some sleep. No. He's making a joke. Soriano, he's joking. I get it. A lot of loners do have social skills, though. Yeah, but he's a total introvert. He doesn't socialize. He's starting to with the people he works with. I don't want to get into his business. That's his business. My God, we spun this into a conversation about Kendrick. But anyway, this is interesting. The fire, Tusi reported it. He put it out there. I mean, it looks like this is happened, right? Would you say this is confirmed? I don't think Tusi would put anything out there. Other people are posting about it. Gas problems again. Indication of an explosion. Is another gas leak? Circumstances and causes unknown? That's from a different angle? Is it a different angle? Or is it the same angle? It's the same angle. It's all over the place. So another one. What is going on with these? Seriously, what is going on the last couple of days? Oh no, now it's mom.
For Billy. Come here.
Come here. Oh my God. Oh God, I lost one. Matter of fact, let me find it. I need to get off because he needs to go to the gym. He wants to go. That's not going to stop unless I take him to the gym. All right. Why don't we do that? And you guys can go check out Tusi. So I'm having a problem. I think I X'd out of the other flight radar. I have to reset it up. What does that say? Yeah, no? Okay, so let's go like this. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix it. Okay. A little better. I would like to see what Tusi says at the protest. Give the guy credit. He's out there, like I said, in the public, making a speech. And you know, they know. They would love to silence him. I hope he has a lot of protection. You know? Pray for Tusi, because he knows it. But he's courageous and he's passionate. I mean, you can't take anything away from Tusi, what he's doing. You know what I mean? You gotta give the man the props. It takes a lot. Knowing that he's under threat, to go out there and do that, that takes a lot of cojones. I'll say it like that. I don't know. I'll be back in 15 minutes. I could leave this up on the screen. I can't play Tusi's audio because that's a copyright issue. What's up, Ulysses? Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Ulysses. I don't think he's taking a lot of risk doing that. Really. Go rest. Last night I was on fumes. Go rest. Whoever the person, Chaos, go rest, dude. I don't know if I should leave it on. You guys should go check out Tusi. And then I'll come back later. I think that's the best thing. Go check out Tusi. This way I could take care of the other stuff that's going on in this maddening house. Including getting more firewood, which my fire went out. And maybe eating another gyro. Oh, fire went out. Alexa, what's the temperature?
It's 14 degrees
Oh
right
my
now.
God, it's
But
14
with that
degrees.
17 miles per hour wind, it feels like a brisk -3 degrees.
Feels like
Today's high will be 22 degrees with a low of 2.
Feels like -3 outside with the wind. It's sick. It's 14 degrees here. Anyway, you guys are saying leave it on? Caddy landed in Bahrain last night. Do you guys want me to leave it on? You could listen to Tusi, whatever. I could leave this on. I'll zoom out. You guys might pick up something that I missed, in a way. Here comes that super galaxy. That's something to... I would like you guys to keep an eye on this. I don't think it's going to land in the next 15 minutes. But I'm interested to see where this goes. You think it's going to go to Saudi, Qatar, or maybe here? I think it's probably going to go to Qatar. You and Sean, you guys are both mods, right? Because watch out for the attacks while I'm gone. Why is Hormuz missing some flights? You got to zoom in. Oh, shit. Oh, no, you got to let it fill in. See, but if I do that, because I have the way it's split, I can't do it certain ways because of the split screen. You see how it disappears? Let me see if I want to try to get this border. See, it's hard. All right, that's... okay. How about that? That seems to be showing everything, right? Keep an eye on the traffic coming in from Turkey. Keep an eye on here. Definitely keep an eye on here. But I also want to know what this is, where this is going. So let me jump out. You guys are taking over the stream. It's like if Sepp was here, Sepp would have stepped in. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take myself off screen. I'll be back. I'm gonna mute. And for those that are leaving, God bless you. Love to all of you. Have a great rest of your afternoon, day, whatever it is. I'll be back. He's not ready. Now he's gonna put laundry in. So I'll be here till he's ready to go. Oh no. Somebody wants to go outside. Oh my gosh. Oh. My buddy's here now. He knows I'm dressed to go out. Look at him. I know what you want. I know. I know what you want. You see him? This dog is too much with me. You have no idea. Is that my baby? Are you the baby? You are the baby, right? He is the baby.